once more to Let's Play Banished. In the last episode, we started building a house. Not too many, because we kind of wanted to avoid people from overstocking food. I hope this is clear, because if you build houses, every house will try to stock up as much as possible. And then things just go wrong. Very, very bad. Incredibly bad. Okay, so we are building the woodcutter here. This will generate another job. In fact, let's assign one person as a woodcutter. That's another symbol. This is basically, that's what you get if a citizen has a job assigned. In this case a woodcutter, but there is no building or no place he can work at. In that case he will work as laborer as well until something is available. Now he has a job. And we are getting firewood now. This house is using firewood to basically heat the place. And firewood is generated from logs. So the woodcutter will, let's actually zoom in here. The woodcutter will go into, or she will go in here. She'll take logs from here and chop them to firewood. And then store that in the storage cart, which is currently 43% full. So you see there is still plenty of space in it. We will trade it in for a storage barn in due time. However, as for now, it is sufficient, because that is pretty much yeah, the storage barn would be wasted effort. I have a storage building and I need to kind of focus on food and resource production. So I really can't afford to build other things. Or to build things I don't need, because that is all time, it's resources, and it's just effort that it's mostly time that I don't have, because I need to get working on my food deficit. We are having a certain, most definite deficit here. As you can see, the potato stocks are constantly dropping, and as you also see, the produced fish is not enough to actually make up for what we're using. Also note that we have very little laborers. We will have to build more houses soon, because this house will not generate many children. People will only found families if they have a place to live. So we only get children from one family here. All the others will not procreate. So in order to have a properly growing city, although I suppose you will get into some weirdness with family trees at some point, you need more houses than that. Also, this symbol means we have hit the storage limit. So we have 200 fuel in the storage here, or here and there, I suppose. The woodcutter will stop working, just in order to not have him like use up all our logs, or not to clog up the entire storehouse with firewood, because we also need stones and logs and iron and stuff. I'm not sure if people are smart enough to pick it up from like here and drag it to a building site, so let's not risk it. Also, step 2. Let us get going with the step 2. I think we are far beyond step 2 now, but let's get going with the production here. Come on. I want a gatherer's hut. The outline of the working area is kind of hard to see with the snow. I'm trying to squeeze it in so it covers the most area of that. I think this is okay. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, we will try to build everything in here. But this has to be first. Where is it? There. This has to be the absolute priority because the Gardener's hut produces loads of food. The thing is, I don't know why, but the fishing dock, well, I know why that is. The fishing dock only gathers fish from the surroundings. Also only from the surrounding rivers, which is, okay, it's still shown here, so only this section of the river will be used to gather fish from, which is not a big part of the surrounding area of the fishing dock, and we can't go that high with that, efficiency-wise. The Gatherer's hut will gather a variety of things. They will gather berries from those little bushes here, they will gather onions, mushrooms, and I think something else as well. And they will gather from this entire area here. Well, except the mountainy bits, but most of that. So there is a lot more resource potential, and I hate using words like potential, but there is a lot more potential to gather from. So this thing will actually give us like 1,000 and more resources per season. Also note that we have freezing people now. They run to that house and will try to warm up. Woohoo! Reserve of food is low. Yeah, I know that. That's why you're supposed to build this stupid thing. Okay. By the way, the reason why, or one of the many reasons why I want to get to a town hall at some point is that you actually have in-game benefits from that. One of the less obvious ones is the ability to gain nomads, because they will queue up at the town hall and ask to be allowed in. We'll get to the pros and cons of that once we have those. Let's just say they can bring some pretty bad consequences to your town. Aside of that, you gain reports. So basically, once you have a town hall, you can check for the last, I think up to 100 years, how your resources or how your stocks of a certain thing have changed. Which is very useful for food, because it allows you to see how much food you produced, if you're still producing more than you eat, so if you're still gaining stuff, and if you can still expand further, or if you have to focus on your food production first before building more houses and having more people or accepting a bunch of nomads or everything. And that's something I actually really like about this game, aside of pretty much everything else, because it's just an amazing game. I mean, the sound is nice, it's very atmospheric, and production stuff is also nice. It's also kind of a change to have a relatively peaceful place. I mean, we are still going to lose a lot of people to random deaths. Also note that the general health is dropping a bit, which is okay. I've kind of anticipated that. But what do I want to say now? Oh yeah, it's a nice change to have just that peaceful town you can work with. Also, I want where are my fishermen? Here. You two stop working there, and I want 4 people to become herb. Is that herbal? No, that's. I don't want you to become that. I want you to become gatherers. There we go. No, only 4 of you. Okay, you see that this has produced about... No, don't do that. About 288 fish in 1 season. And I think we had it for pretty much 1 season. And you will see that the Gatherer's hut will produce a lot more than that. And I mean a lot. So we can actually increase the efficiency further by going... or by removing all these stones. I would actually like one more button to remove everything that is not a tree. But I suppose I won't get that. So we'll take out all the stones and all the iron from this area. And let the trees alone. Also, sometimes trees just fall over on their own. It's just nice. Something else we'll build here is the hunter, because deer only, or deer tries to go to woods to repopulate. At least I think that's how it works. And you just need to keep some bits available for that. And that's why I try to build a hunter here, because deer will eventually accumulate in here and you can just hunt it there. Let's see if we can find a herd. They just wander around, so they are never really stationary. They will never be like bound to a place where you can really reliably hunt them or find them. Okay, food is looking really low. But they will eventually get back to wherever you need them. No, that's not deer, that's trees. But they looked a bit like deer to me. Where do I have some deer? The weather really doesn't make it easy to find them. They should be wandering the map. I don't think they leave the map. I know they can be killed by tornadoes though. I've seen that. Oh, there are some deer. Deer will try to stay away from civilization. So once we build like a lot of houses here, they will try to avoid this area. Which makes sense. I mean, I think that's how deer normally work. Do deer work? I don't know. You get my point. So what we'll try to squeeze in here are 4 buildings. We'll build a gather. Well, we have that. We'll build the herbalist, who will also gather from old enough trees. Also see that we, that's what I meant here. You gain 4 things, the roots of the last thing. You gain 4 resources from here, and all of those can be spawned in that area. They can spawn all over the map, but they can be gathered from that area, which means you often have like 200 of each of those in one season. So if you have 250 of that, or 300 of each of those, you gain 1,200 food in one season, as opposed to the meager 300 food you gain out of that. Or maybe up to 600, I think, if you put 4 workers in. Did that just close? Yeah. Okay. And that's why you want to build that gatherer as soon as possible, because this guy can keep your population alive for a while. You see, we are actually gaining food now. We're at 220 last time I checked, which was a few minutes ago. And we're at 330 now. So, woohoo! How much time do I have left here? 2 minutes. I'm probably going to stop recording after that. I'll not touch this game for any non-Let's Play purposes, but I will I'll probably refrain from uploading those episodes until I'm sure that this town will go somewhat well. Because it's kinda embarrassing to lose all your citizens within the first year, although of course it's a tornado, I can't really be blamed for that. Also, I like how the time period is also hard to distinguish, because, I mean, okay, it's obviously not the Stone Age, because we are clothed and we are using somewhat sophisticated tools, but I have no idea how we are situated time-wise. So, where exactly, if it's the Middle Ages, if it's the Renaissance ages, if it is the pre-industrial age, which is close to the Renaissance, but you get what I mean. It's, at least for me, it's hard to pinpoint. I mean, I suppose someone who is very good at particular branches of history or of historical sciences could just point at one of those tools and say, yeah, this is how they did it in 1556. However, I am not one of those people, and that's why I can't pinpoint a time period like that. So I think, even though there is smoke coming out of that, this building won't require any food, any firewood, and it will not warm people up. Although I'm not sure on that. the the workers here might actually have. Yeah, you see what I mean here? We are already far beyond the production of the harbor or fishing dock. Also something else here. Note that those people are all now gatherers. Now I didn't look at what they were before, but now they are all gatherers. Which is what I meant earlier. The people will trade jobs in order to maximize their efficiency. So in order to have shorter ways to work and yeah, to basically make the town operate better and more smoothly and just overall better, yeah. That actually confused me at some point because you also get a notification here if someone dies, and you get told if there was somebody who, to replace that guy and who that guy was. And I mean, okay, you have a certain repetition in names, but a certain name popped up very frequently. And I was wondering about that because it didn't make sense, because he was like the teacher, then he was the woodcutter, then he was the a builder, and then he was something else. And it was always the same guy. Because I checked his age, which is, by the way, not tied to that. So people age more than 1 year here. Like this. McKaylee is 15 now. I think she started working with 12. And we're in summer 2. So this age here grows quicker than this time. Which I suppose means we could be on a foreign planet, maybe? Also look at all the stuff they selfishly hogged here. And by the way, it makes sense to retain the fishing dock and to keep giving people some variety. And that's another advantage of the gatherer here, because this building produces food variety on its own. Having some variety on their place will make people more healthy, it will make them... I think it will also make them happier. And of course it's just generally fun to use. So we will eventually put the fishing dock back in use, but right now we are not concerned about variety or taste or the amount of recipes we can make with the food we have, but we are concerned with bear surviving, which is why we have that one lonely home here and nothing else yet. Although I suppose I could go to 2 homes. Let's do that. Let's build another home right here. This will give us more people to be born. By the way, people will try to move out of home once they reach the working age. So once they mature, people will try to move out of home and try to move into another house together with their partner. So they will find a partner, they will search for a home, and then they will start producing children. Which, by the way, can also kill your citizen, because we are still not at the high ages of medicine. So childbirth is a danger, and you can lose people to childbirth, and we will have to eventually build a graveyard. However, this requires a lot of stones, a lot of time, and we just don't have that yet. However, it might be a good time to start building the storage barn. Because now that we have a gatherer and we are producing a lot of food, we might want to actually place that somewhere else. Because as useful as the storage cart is at the early game, it's also quite small, so it will be filled up quite soon. And I would like to not be reliant on it too long. I'd also like to use that building space, because it's kinda in my way. Okay, yeah. And I have to empty the cart. Which means I have to build something to place all the stuff into first. So that's that. We'll have a storage barn here. And I hope people will use that. The thing is, if I tell them to destroy that, this stuff will be counted as non-existent until it has been placed somewhere else. So that's a bit weird. Also, they will still store things in here until I actually tell them to destroy it. So again, that is a bit annoying, but not too big of a deal. Okay. You can also look at our woodcutter here. You see she's picking up resources now, so that's what I meant earlier. If they don't have anything to do because they're out of resources, or they're out of work, or they can't find anything, they will be laborers. Pretty much. They will gather resources, they will remove things from the map, and do just that. Anyway, I've had a good time here. I hope you have as well. Leave your comments below if you feel like that. Maybe if you have suggestions, I will try to look into them. I mean, I did have a quite successful town on my other computer, and I was actually tempted to show you that before I get into Banished. Well, before I get into Let's Playing this. But then again, I kinda decided to just Let's Play it. Well, I actually decided that long ago, but you know me. I'm getting things done slow. Although, of course, I didn't have that much time to do things slowly here. Because if you try to wait too long with something, then you will inevitably die. Well, you will not die because you don't have an avatar in the game, but your town will die. Because if you lose too many people at once, like if I lose, let's say 3 townies or 3 citizens, then I really have to see what I can get done and what not. And if you really run low on people, you might have to actually spend a lot of time really shifting them around, like maybe having your woodcutter fill up your fuel stores once and then make him a gatherer or something like that. And that's a point you don't want to be at, because it's kinda nasty. Well, it's not that nasty, but it is very, very micromanagement heavy, and you don't want that. Anyway, that's it for this episode, and I will see you all next time. Bye!